Hello and welcome to the ESL Collegiate 2019 Preseason Invitational. We're back with more amazing Collegiate League of Legends action. You're seeing some gameplay from last week where DePaul took on Marquette. Where DePaul walked away with the win, but it was a hard-fought battle here for them. We're in for an amazing match today. Seton Hall and Providence will go toe-to-toe to walk away and see who is going to be number one. Seton Hall has had quite a preseason invitational so far. We'll see if they can keep their streak alive. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Inverum, joined on the desk by Degon and Zyrene, here to break down all the amazing plays. Boys, you ready for some more collegiate action?
Very excited to see how the top team in the Big East is going to continue to show off against the upstarts of the Providence Friars.
Excellent.
I just wish he separated our names more. It sounded like one person, Degon Zyrene.
Degon Zyrene.
I'd like to be as separated as him from him as
Aiden
possible.
Zyrene
One entity.
Moon. Daniel Degon Gonzalez helped me hold it down here on the desk. But if you're just joining us, you're not 100% sure what the ESL Collegiate 2019 Preseason Invitational is all about. It's an opportunity for these players to hone their skills going into the next CLOL season. This is an amazing opportunity for them to get in practice beyond just scrims, live in a true competitive environment for them to test out new rosters, new strategies. Let's take a look at the format for the tournament as a whole. The ESL Collegiate 2019 Preseason Invitational is an opportunity for players to hone their skills and develop new strategies going into the next CLOL season. Players will have more chances to compete against their rivals and see their games brought to life on the big screen. The Big East Preseason Invitational starts with a round-robin stage. Each team will play all other teams during this stage, and all matches will be best of 3. Each team's record during the round-robin stage will determine who qualifies for the playoffs. The top 4 teams in the conference will meet in a single elimination bracket in the playoffs. The top 2 teams will play a best-of-5 grand finals and be crowned the champions. We heard it there. The round-robin play will determine which team's moving on to those coveted semi-final spots. We've already seen a decent amount of action here, so let's take a look at the standings and see how it is all shaking out so far. Seton Hall, I mentioned before, looking to keep their run alive up at the top, but St. John's hot on their heels, 3-1. And one of those three is taking down DePaul, one of the all-star rosters here in the Big East.
Yeah, DePaul and Villanova were 2 finalists from last season. Seton Hall made it to the semifinals last season. However, it was a very different roster revolved around their jungler Brady Hayes, who currently isn't on this preseason roster. And on the opposite side, Marquette, Butler, Georgetown, and Providence pick it up in the back of the pack. Providence looking for their first win today.
They are indeed 0-3 to start this off. They know they want to turn this one around, but not the easiest opponent to do it against in Seton Hall. They have a bit of a challenge ahead of them here, so we'll see if they're going to be able to get it done, step up. They've had a few weeks to sort of, again, refine these strategies a little bit more, so we'll see if they can make it happen here. Before we get too deep into the program, I want to remind everybody about an amazing partner that we brought on for the world of ESL Collegiate. Of course, it is Grubhub joining us for all of the amazing food needs, because we have food needs here. We need to eat on the broadcast, and Grubhub has been delivering time and again, especially for that cast and chat down, which is going on later in the broadcast, where you at home can get involved and say, look, I want these casters to eat creative and interesting food. They are able to do so, and we've had some very interesting choices so far on the broadcast. If you want to actually vote for the Big East, you can head on over to the ESL Collegiate Discord and cast your votes.
I'm very excited. We had sushi, ice cream, and now I think yesterday or the other day we had curry.
Curry.
It was delicious curry.
It was.
It was spicy.
Saturday. Yeah.
Saturday.
I agree in curry. I agree in curry. You had red curry. It was good.
It was good.
It was quite, actually, I'm a big fan of curry as well, so excellent. I don't know what our options are, because you can actually vote for the next week's lineup of different sort of culinary delights there. So head on over to the ESL Collegiate Discord to get involved in that conversation. And thank you so much to Grubhub for joining us here. They've got a lot of amazing things happening. Grubhub perks, of course, giving you access to a lot of free food, connecting restaurants and diners, and delivering it right to your door, which is amazing. I know if I was a hungry college student, Grubhub is definitely something I'd want to use, which is fantastic, because you can actually get 12 $12 off your first order of $15 or more. And that's like basically a free meal right there. So definitely want to get involved.
$3.
Yeah, $3. But no.
Look, if you can't spend $3 on a delicious meal, $3. If you can't spend those freedom dollars on a delicious meal, like I just can't help you at that point. It's not, get involved in that. Head on over to the link you just saw down below. But let's talk about our very first game here. Of course, it is going to be Seton Hall taking on Providence. This Seton Hall roster has gone through some changes, but it is still looking as strong as ever.
That's right, and the big guy in this game got to be the top lane there, Fluber Boobler. Fluber Boobler. Fluber Boobler. Fluber Boobler.
So that reminds me of the time where I named my team Doodle Scooters just to mess with the casters. That's what that name suggests.
Possibly. And then I've earned this rank. Myanhe in the mid lane, Crop and Numgums returning to that support role, but Fluber Burbler.
And Fluber Burbler.
Fluber Burbler.
That's how you have to say it. All right, never mind. I'm
Just like that, it sounds like a Murloc. Like
yeah, it is. Look, all right. I don't make the rules. That's how this works. It's a yordle in this universe. Cyrene, get it right.
Oh, boy.
Sorry.
Are they actually just equivalent to each other? Are they both that type of road? Like,
Yeah.
wow.
I think that's how it works. I don't make the rules of Runeterra, guys. I don't.
Thankfully.
I don't start this. Yeah, exactly. Let's take a look at their opponents in Providence. Started off so far in the preseason Invitational 0-3. We'll see if they can turn it around here. Up at the top, it is Beatty Buttkiss and Nate the Fantastic Eagle 3798. All the numbers. Trevor and Calhorn.
Yeah, and I'm looking up at that top lane matchup between Fluber and Beatty. Those two guys will be going head to head. And I think the player that's able to take advantage up top is going to be the one that is able to push this game wide open for his squad.
And a lot of new faces on these teams, which is going to create some interesting dynamics because we don't have a lot of historical context to pull from. Normally, we'd look back at past season result, but all really we can do now is sort of look how they're doing in the world of solo queue, how they're playing on the ladder, and then, of course, the games that they've done so far this season. So if you go by that, you have to say that Seton Hall are the favorites going into this. If you're Providence lining things up, about to head into this first draft, I'll look to you on this, Cyrene. What do you want to look for them to do to sort of set the tone in game number one?
Oh, anything that they've been doing throughout the season, don't.
Okay.
Because if you're starting 0-3, you have to find something new, whether it's play around a different player or try a different strategy, kind of mix it up, or feel like you've refined something to the point that you're going to start picking up wins on it and that you maybe had just a bit of gold in your previous strategies. I don't think that's the case there for them looking at their games. I feel like they kind of have to go back to the drawing board. And especially since they're a little bit outgunned in this matchup, I feel like you do have to really find the tricky elements to things and catch your opponent off guard. Because if you're going to just play standard League of Legends and try to go, pound for pound against your opponent, they're just going to hit you harder than you're going to hit them. So I feel like for them, they really have to find the unique flexes. They have to dig for their comfort champions and really just play the League of Legends that each of them individually knows and find a way to make that work together. So when it comes to a team that's not off to a great start at all, and in fact the complete opposite of it, you really just go, okay, we're going to try something here. And that's the thing is you either keep doing the way you have or you improve upon it. So you can't get any worse than what you've done. So I say just go for it, play the stuff that you really want to play, and if you come up with a win, then you can start looking at that and being like, okay, what's the recipe for success here? Otherwise, you're just losing in the same fashion. It's actually insanity at that point.
Another thing I want to note going into this as well, because Providence talked about the fact that things they're doing so far haven't had a lot of success. The flip side of this is that Seton Hall's had a lot of success. They've 2-1'd Villanova. They've taken down
Keep doing it.
2-0. And they 2-0 Butler. So all the teams who were above them in the rankings last season, they have now defeated. They have beaten their demons, Blue Demons included, in this last one. So
See what you did there.
yeah, I like it. So now they're looking like the team to beat right now in the Big East. I'll look to you, Deacon. Should they just keep doing exactly what they're doing, or should they also continue to experiment a little bit and continue to refine that style?
I think there is a realm where when you're playing a team that you're expected to beat, that's when you're able to experiment just a little bit and test your boundaries. See if you can add to the arsenal of play styles, of things that you can learn, so that in case you are in a big, difficult matchup, a best of 5, and you're in 2-2, and it seems to be going back and forth. You don't have confidence in the main game that you're playing. You have an alternative strategy ready to go that might catch a team off guard.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a mixed bag for me. If I'm this team going up against a team lower in the standings, I just want to beat them as fast as possible, get back to scrims. Like, it's just like, do not lose to this team, because if you end up getting caught off guard, this team will drop all their games potentially to all other teams except for you, so they've hamstrung you in the standings a little bit. So they're going to give that win over to Villanova. They're going to give that win over to DePaul, and that gives those guys a better chance of catching you in the standings. So I feel like you can't really at all give up those wins to people below you in the standings.
So don't necessarily risk it here. Just play smart, solid,
It's game day.
consistent.
It's game day.
It is game day, absolutely. Taking a look at this draft so far, nothing jumping out at me too crazy, except maybe that first pick, Ivern, up there at the top for Providence. And maybe I've earned this rank on the other side, going like, hang on a second, that's mine.
Yeah, just always a takeaway when you're able to take a jungler from the opposite side. The Pantheon, the Vladimir Ban, Nunu, Oriana, and Syndra been taken away by Seton Hall. And Nate the Fantastic and Eagle picking for their bot lane, Trevor and Calhorn. So a late game scaling AD carry. You don't see Sivir as much, but always that almost like an insurance policy with a bunch of crits with the bouncing blades and the ricochet. It'll be interesting to see how they build around this composition with the Ivern already there.
Yeah, and of course, sort of solidifying themselves in the jungle and the bottom for both sides right now, which means these mid and top matchups are pretty much left completely open at this stage. So we'll see how the counter picks kind of come into play here. We've seen a lot of flexibility, so many of these mid-top champions. At the end of the day, it is still a 1v1 matchup, so that's why we're often seeing so much of the flex happening right now. Nico and Yasuo being denied. Nico's an interesting pick. When she came out, she was really popular. Obviously, you're going to receive those post-launch nerfs, sort of come back to a place where I think more people are happy with her. But Yasuo, we've seen Yasuo literally laned in all 3 lanes looking to Worlds. So he is one of these hyper versatile champions. Glad to get him off the board.
Yeah, and Providence knows exactly how they want to play. They want to put Fluber Boobler, I'll get it right one of these times, on his 6th, possibly 7th strongest champion. All 5 bans going to the top lane with Vladimir, Ornn, Pantheon, Yasuo, Renekton, and Seton Hall also banning away kind of a top laner in the form of Nico, getting that one away. And let's see what they go with. And it's going to be Kled going to the top side of the map for Fluber Burbler. There we go, got it right.
Yeah. It's like Boobler. No, it's Burbler.
Yeah.
He's
Sorry.
burbling. And the Shen.
Not
like
boobling.
It's going to be likely the response up there. Of course, the Stand United going to give him the ability to traverse the rift in a good way. And the Corki lining things up in the mid. So we'll see what the counter pick is going to be for Mianhe? Mianhe.
Yeah, sounds good. Mianhe will go with the Rise, and we've seen a lot of Rise in Collegiate recently, and competitive as well. Insane wave clear, lots of pushing power. Late game can really be a major distraction if you don't have someone that can deal with that. You have Corki that can kind of try to play the distance game against him in the lane, but really not quite the split pushing threat that Rise is.
Yeah, and I think that this is going to come down to a lot of engaging and team fighting here from the side of Seton Hall, whereas Providence, they really want to kite back. They want to have the double marksman composition scale and be able to hit that mid game and have big power spikes with the Ivern defending them and the Leona peeling for them. So this is really a 2 marksman composition with a lot of tankiness around it. And on the other side, it's trying to reach those marksmen and take them out as fast as possible.
And it's interesting because if I was looking at these drafts in a vacuum, I might even favor Providence here just a little bit in my opinion. The Ashe, Fallen, I'm not a huge fan of the Ashe in a lot of situations. She's fun to play, but even the slight recent nerfs to her W, making her a little bit weaker in the early laning phases. The Nautilus, of course, has been strong, but all in all, still have to give it to Seton Hall, though, just because they are so favored in this matchup. Their draft is fine. I don't think they won by any stretch here. I think it's about even or just a little below, in my opinion, but I still think the skill at their disposal is going to give them a W.
Yeah, I think we come to the same conclusion, but for different reasons. Yes, the Ashe is a little bit weaker in terms of lane, but it's very clear what this composition wants to do. You hit someone with the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, and then everyone else follows up with the Olaf coming in with the Ragnarok, Charge coming out of Kled on the top side of the map, Realm Warp, wherever Rises can hop on in as well. It's very easy to execute for this composition for Seton Hall.
Yeah, and I also agree. I think Seton Hall will take this one. This composition for them, it's going to be trying to do front to back as much as possible, but really wanting the flanks. So the flanks, I think, will not be as easy for them to access. So that's why I think it'll be front to back. But I like the Ryze to be able to kind of mix up their damage palette. I like the Kled in the top lane, who may not be the split pusher that goes up against Shen, but he'll try to force Shen out of lane as much as possible, roam mid, roam to other lanes. So I feel like Seton Hall, they have more proactivity here with all of their engage, and it's really on Providence to kite backwards and execute the peel as best as possible from a reactionary standpoint, but I always favor proactivity.
All right, so we're in agreement here on the desk. Seton Hall is going to walk away with the win, but it's not over till it's over. Let's see what Providence can do as we get into game number 1, brought to you by Grubhub. Thank you so much to Grubhub for helping to support ESL Collegiate in the world of Collegiate League of Legends, as we're seeing the first-ranked Seton Hall taking on the last-ranked Providence. This, I said, it's an uphill battle for the side of Providence, but if there is any game to suddenly start the epic comeback, it's going to be this one.
It would be this one. Thanks, Grubhub, for setting up this match in the league and having this a possible epic comeback, as you said, possible in the first place. But Seton Hall currently waiting, and
boy.
We're going to be coming down in just a second over the wall, possibly. I like the fact that Providence
still grouped.
Kind of sniffed something out here. And the ward that they placed doesn't see anybody. I think maybe they placed it right as Seton Hall were leaving, and so Providence had an idea. Everyone was grouped up. And no early game shenanigans here, but the vision game was strong on this one.
2 ships passing in the night. No kills netted for either side. Gonna opt for some early accidental pacifist play, as we will see these lanes just start to settle up here. Gonna find the leash on the side of Seton Hall as they move towards the lane. But looking at this mid lane matchup, Corki Ryze, I feel like is sort of a tale as old as time when it comes to these mid lane matchups. And Corki's interesting because a lot of the things you actually complimented the Ryze on is actually, good wave clear as well. Decent poke and rotation. Corki's going to have that as well. And of course, once the package gets into play, that's when things are going to start to shift up in terms of the aggression of Providence.
Yeah, but as a marksman, Corki is like a caster marksman, I'd say, a little bit more like an Ezreal. You cast spells and then you try to get an auto attack in. It does take Corki a little bit longer to clear the wave. Phosphorus Bomb isn't quite as strong as the wave clear rotation. Right here, right off the bat, the level 2 power spike. That's a flash, and that's the first blood. Ashe being a little bit nerfed, not gonna dampen the mood here. First blood heading on over to Crop.
Doesn't need to dampen it, just gonna freeze it. First blood to Seton Hall, no real surprise there. A beautiful dredge line to set that one up, and there's the clean execution on the back of it. And now up top, we might look to see another one going on through as Kled and Shen are trying to make this one happen. The flash forward committal from Fluber Burbler, picking up another kill in quick succession for the side of Seton Hall.
Yeah, the Burbler burgling the top lane right off the back here. And BD's gonna have to go back to the base, TP on in, and an early TP never feels good.
Oh, no, I mean, in an ideal world, you wouldn't have to use, you could save it for rotation or at least wait to do it on your own terms.
Right.
Wait to go back for that first buy. It's an ideal world, but no, not going to be the case here, which means that these are bringing a potential situation where Kled might want to use that TP a little bit more aggressively in his own right, or probably just maintain a bit of that momentum we're seeing here in the top. Going to have the additional level of vision coming in from the Ashe. That is the nice part of that, helping to give a little bit of additional support to the jungle. What a great ADC.
Yeah, team play. Team play.
Team play.
Yeah, Ashe just always dropping that. And that's the thing with Hawkshot. You lose the mobility of a more commonly played AD carry in the form of Ashe, but you gain so much vision. And if your team's able to play with the vision, your team's able to get around and utilize the information that's given, huge there
for
the rest of the team. And look at that. Yanhei just bossing in the mid lane. Able to get a rotation off and pick up the kill 1v1. Now engaged by Calhorn. Nate the Fantastic trying to show up on time. Calhorn still moving forward. Taking a while for the rotation. Flash forward by Trevor onto Crop. Crop forced to use the heal, and here comes Ivern to this rank. He'll be coming in just a second. Will Numgums be able to live? Yes, he will. Calhorn is very low, and the flash by Ivern on in there. Flash away by Crop, and now Trevor in a little bit of trouble. Ivern in there. Ivern this rank able to get one, but Fluber Burbler Trying to
Oh,
catch out
no.
the Leona.
They did not see the TP coming on down. Another collect from the top. This is what I talked about, the TP. To get a little bit of aggression, D-Gon. That's what he wanted to do. Didn't quite end up resulting in a kill there, but still multiple kills going the way of Seton Hall.
Yeah, Fluber, Burbler able to TP down to the bottom side of the map, pick up one. Crop did a good job surviving for a long time, as well as Numgums. Both of them holding on to Flash to dodge out the boomerang toss by Trevor. Nate the Fantastic trying to get his CC down as well, not able to. And Seton Hall, early lead here, 5 minutes into the game.
Yeah, and this is kind of a little bit to be expected from the team coming into this very highly favored, having already demolished many of the Giants here in the Big East. But I got to give props to Providence to find a little bit of trade back over the course of these kills. We're seeing this done, going on through onto the Ash, forcing out the W as well, trying to follow up there.
Whoa.
With the Blade. Can they get this one done? Trying to body block is the Nautilus.
No! Numgums! The auto attack and the ricochet bouncing off and taking down Ash. Like, scoot over, scoot over, scoot over. No!
Not how the body blocking works when you're playing against the Sivir.
That is accurate.
That is accurate. As accurate as that final shot was. Nice job there. Finding a little bit of equalization, but 6 kills to 3. We're still seeing kills coming out for Seton Hall through all this, and there comes the engage onto Brady up top. In for a world of hurt right now. Doesn't have level 6 yet, so not really going to be able to do a whole lot against it, and that's another kill going over the way of Seton Hall.
That's right. You can kiss your BD goodbye as the top laner getting taken down for Providence 1 and 2. 2 deaths so early on in this game, and now I've earned this rank, saying I've earned this champion as well. Because I used my CP, IP, Blue Essence to buy it.
And we're taking a look at this game, but of course, this is not the only game going on in the Big East. St. John's and Butler battling it out as well as we get right into the action. 34 kills for Butler. Oh my! This one is an absolute bloodbath, as it looks like this is the first game of the set right here. D-Gon, what an insane, chaotic fight.
Yeah, and Butler, you know, they've been underperforming to our expectations again. One of the few rosters returning 4 members here, and moving down Butler Mac to the AD carry role. Butler takes game number 1 over first place St. John's, and now Crop trying to get some action here on the bottom side of the map. Mianhe TPing on down. Doesn't lead to anything, and both sides are more than happy to just back off.
That was a little bit of a lackluster TP. I mean, when Providence is pushing forward and trying to, you know, take advantage, that I understand. But at that point, your carry was already pushing them in underneath the turret. I'm not sure what exactly he was expecting to get out of that one. And then the lane just getting shoved in mid for the Corki, who's just going to back and use that opportunity to reset. But still, if we're looking at the gold right now, already a 2K gold lead coming in from Seton Hall. 4 kills as well going their way. And I feel like the Olaf has just been such an ever-present threat in this game. 3-1-1 right now. Not been afraid to show up in the opposing team's jungle, not being afraid to show up under their turrets, as is constantly something Providence is going to have to keep in the back of their minds.
Yeah, and Nate the Fantastic has spent a lot of time on this bottom side of the map. The CS is still solid, but again, just kind of hovering around, not really being quite as effective as he wants to. Has hit level 6, though, and so his next gank with Daisy is going to be a doozy. As the hawk shot catching out Ivern. They know he's on the bottom side of the map. See what Seton Hall does with this information.
Yeah, Seton Hall is doing a good job using the information that they have, but they're currently looking at the wards. They've got decent control of the line of scrimmage of that river. Then, of course, Ash from this bottom to top position is going to be able to give additional info over to the jungler. I've earned this rank, of course, I mentioned before, has not had any issues of just looking to set things up for the rest of his team, and also giving over the opposing team's blue buff to your own mid is kind of nice.
Yeah, when you're able to really capitalize on the opposing team's jungle. Very helpful as I've earned this rank now. Catching out the gank here, but cannot be stopped when he goes rocking and rolling with Ragnarok now onto the opposing jungle, and he's going to get chopped down. One more access. See you later, good sir. We'll use you as firewood in just a bit. I've earned this rank still going on in. Hanging around, and Beatty able to stay alive. The bear trap on a rope didn't work on the ninja this specific time, but another kill heading on over to Seton Hall.
And really, this is just the situation of an Olaf who's not afraid to just go face, walk all the way in. And we're seeing Providence just not quite having the tools at this stage of the game to deal with it. The shields are trying to go on through.
Jen,
but here we go. Stand United is there, but just going down instantly, trying to get the return kill onto the Ash. The heal's being burned as well, trying to stay a little bit alive a little bit longer. But in this case, Leona's just going to get herself right on out of there again. So it is going to be a 1-for-1 trade in the bottom.
An Eagle able to use the blast cone to safety. Barely getting away. And Seton Hall still turning the screws here, but a nice counter gank by Nate the Fantastic. Now Numgum's trying to help out Myanhee, who runs right into Beatty. Beatty not dishing out too much damage, and all the while, Seton Hall on the top side of the map. Fluber! Now he's capitalizing on his gold coffers.
Yes.
He's able to take not just one, but 2 plates. 1 plate, I was just kidding.
Taking the plates. Well, I mean, overall, he's taking a few plates.
He's taking 2 plates.
Taking 2. There you go. Don't sell yourself short, D-Gun. You got this.
I'm 6 foot.
What?
I'm not short.
Ah, this is true. 9 kills to 4 right now for the side of Seton Hall in the Vision game. I got to give them so many props to this. Ash, I feel like the second the shot's on cooldown, she's just constantly throwing it out, making sure that they've got full idea of what is happening in the opposing team's jungle. Which the whole time I've earned this rank is just taking massive advantage of. Myanhee has been doing all right as well, 1-0-0, but the Rise I feel like has been a little bit quiet so far in this game, but no real surprise. He really starts to come online in scale as that split-pushing maniac in the mid to late game. So we'll see how he starts to fill out the composition as the rest of this team is probably just going to want to fight.
Yeah, Fluber, the top side of the map. That's what I'm looking at. He has TP up now. Where is he going to decide that the next fight will be happening as Myanhee, again, just chunking down Eagle. And we thought that the distance for the marksman here would be the difference. He has hit level 6, past level 6 already. Now can use the missile barrage, but again, still just not quite as comfortable yet and still just getting chunked. Once you're in range of machine gun casting Rise, you lose that. You lose that as Corki. You want to keep that space in between there. Hasn't been able to do so.
We're seeing the Drake looking to be picked up by Seton Hall. No real contestation going to be coming up the side of Providence. Eagle at distance might try and do something, but Rise is just going to continue to put up the pressure there. Eagle is trying to run away, but Flash committed from Myanhee, and that's the kill I'm looking to see coming in from the mid laner. Now every single member in their own right, I believe, has pretty much gotten a solo kill in their own respective lane.
That's right, and Eagle used the Flash earlier in the mid lane. Myanhee with that information flashing, making sure he picked up the kill right afterwards. And Seton Hall off and rolling. The Pirates taking everything, all the booty. Yeah, all the bounty as well.
There it is.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I mean, I got what you meant. Buccaneers, Pirates. You're good to go. Yeah. As we're looking at the pressure continuing to mount down here in the bottom, I would like to see Crop put a little bit more priority on trying to take down some of these early plates. They don't have vision on Ivern. Nate the Fantastic is still off here on the flank, but this Ivern has been quiet so far this game. 1-2-1, so he's been a little bit involved, but 2 deaths to start things off. Not exactly what you're looking for as a jungler.
And again, we saw it earlier, level 4, level 5, spent a lot of time down here on the bottom side of the map that led Ivern to this rank.
It's
not Nate the Fantastic. Get a small lead here, and now TP being used by Fluber to get down here, but the engage on the Crop, how long can he live? Not long enough, down goes the Ash. And now knock up onto Numgums gets him chunked down as well. Beatty's able to join the fight using Stand United now. Fluber in a little bit of trouble. But the Burbler able to flash himself away to safety. With all the action down on the bottom side of the map though, Olaf will head to the top side and get this Rift Herald started.
That Ash survived for so long. Crop just decided, there's no point in trying to walk away from this one. I'm just going to trade as best as I can, try and get a kill in response. And we're able to secure the kill on the other side. Trevor, the ADC of Providence, does go down through all that, but so much committed. TPs, Stand United, just the ability for Providence to respond to these fights. I cannot state it enough. Was well used there, but still not able to get the clean trade, the clean kill they were looking for. It seems like Seton Hall doesn't give away anything for free.
Yeah, they got the kills, but then what? On the top side of the map,
turret.
Ivern to this rank able to take the turret, get the plates, and stack on up and accelerate his lead. A 500 gold bounty for him. And there were no plates gained off of that play on the bottom side of the map. 0 plates here for Providence. So as you look across, though, for Seton Hall, they've gotten a decent amount. Now a gank in the mid lane. Eagle getting caught out. Dredge line is a good one. Numgum's able to land it there, and the returning member of the Seton Hall roster accelerating this game as Leona And Sivert thinking about a dive here, but decide against
That would
it.
be an error, especially Nelino's realizing, wait a second, I need to turn back around. Trevor in a world of hurt. The TP is going to be committed. Heal already being popped. And that is going to be the solo kill going the way of Prop. Flashing back out as well, trying to get the continued slow there. And that is the dredge line coming on in from the mid. And now Calhord is going to be the target. The TP ensuring that kill is secured. That's the TP I'm looking for my mid laner.
And Seton Hall looking very polished here in their 4th game of the season. Looking like the team that is in first place. As you like to take a look there.
Oh, that's dirty.
That is 4 kills worth, 4.5 kills worth of gold just off of lane dominance here and macro play that the Pirates have shown. They take the bottom lane turret as well. 2 turrets in the first 15 minutes.
I mean, man, looking like game 3 of Worlds right now, but in any case, that's Olaf just continuing to go to town. Oh, just taunt him, continue to go in. Beatty, no! Beatty, please, don't do it, sir! As the taunt is going to try and bring Ivern back underneath the turret, but still, this Olaf is looking absolutely terrifying. 5-1-1. Look at the bounties. We're looking at almost 1,500 gold in bounties on the side of Seton Hall right now. If they throw a silly fight, that could bring Providence right back in this.
Yeah, definitely a lot of rebound potential here for Providence, and there are a couple of players that could definitely use that in the form of Trevor, as we've been saying, but now in the mid lane, just the go button has been pressed. Charge by Skarl and Kled. Gets now Fluber in the back line. Nobody dying quite yet. Fluber trying to remount. Will he be able to get the last couple of autos in time? Yes, but no, he does not remount. And a big shutdown bonus going over to the Sivert. Trevor holding that one in.
150 gold, going to be augmenting that one, but 17 kills to 6, and the pressure is still mounting in the mid. Seton Hall getting that additional tier 1 turret, which means the entire opponent's side of the map has been opened up, cracked open like a nut wide. And at this point, Seton Hall can just continue to play their game, Degon. They look like they don't want to, they want to do exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
They know exactly what they're, there it is.
Yeah, again, just the easier to execute composition here for Seton Hall. And Ivern in this rank was able to get to level 6, get his Ragnarok growing, even have a couple of successful ganks before level 6. And now that it's here, as soon as Kled hits charge, there's no way to stop this Olaf getting in the back line and wreak havoc. There's just nothing that Providence can do. You can peel and run backwards and try to work through it, but unfortunately, that's not quite enough right now for Providence. And given this gold discrepancy, this item discrepancy, it seems even harder and harder for Providence to stop the blitzkrieg that the Pirates are throwing at the Friars.
Oh man, almost 10,000 gold is the differentiator here, and we're not even at the 20-minute mark. This is one of the most dominant wins we have seen yet in the Big East. Seton Hall are just firing on all cylinders. They look like they're on a completely other level. And Providence, oh my. Well, it's been fun, Numgums.
Yeah, Numgums trying to get that deep vision, but one of the few plays that Providence could make, group up and hope someone walks into us.
And it happened, but it still took them a really long time to kill that Nautilus.
Yeah, that is a tanky boy, as we finally have Trinity Force completed in the mid lane for Corky, and Eagle hoping that he's going to be able to dish out a little bit more damage, but now the Ivern has been figured out by the Ivern main. Olaf going over the wall, big time enchanted Crystal Arrow, predicting the flash. And down goes the Ivern for the 4th time in the game.
Yeah, this is just not the most impactful jungle pressure here from Providence. Stacy's been able to offer a little bit when the team has grouped around some of these ganks, but I've earned this rank on this Olaf. It's just fully forward. I mean, it's only direction to go at this stage, and as you mentioned, beautiful synergy there from Crop with that enchanted Crystal Arrow, predicting the only escape path that Ivern could hope to achieve there. So nice play from Seton Hall. Looks like the individual mechanics from there, the communication from there, and so far, the macro decision-making overall, it's like a windshield wiper. They're just going back and forth across the opposing team's base, just slowly knocking it down.
Yeah, and again, the Seton Hall roster retooling from last season, had moving parts, really played around the jungle position in the form of the player named Seton Hall,
yeah.
Brady Hayes. And now just kind of looking like a squad that can carry from multiple different positions. And right here, another opportunity for a kill. The heal does come down. Ult gonna miss everything. Ivern does have Daisy popped, but Daisy not finding a target to knock up.
But through all of this, Croft is just continuing to take down this turret. You're creating so much space for your ADC to just try and rip through the structures, but now looks like they're going to try and go in and utilize Daisy while they can here in the jungle. Now Croft is going to be the target. He's just going to stand through all of this for whatever reason. The taunt is there. That is the pickup. I think a little bit of overconfidence from the Ashe. Yes, your Ryze is split pushing, but there was no reason to stay.
Yeah, I think just getting caught out there, not paying attention. However, the support able to cancel out the jungler now. Oh, flash has been used, but it's not enough to get away. Or is it? A couple pixels length away. Ryze not able to capitalize on the kill on Corki, but will continue the split push on this top lane tier 2 turret.
And just keeping up the pressure on all flanks is Seton Hall. They're going to be looking towards the Baron next, establishing control on this side of the Rift, setting up a vision in the opposing team's jungle, having Ashe to augment that as well. They are going to have as much info as possible going into this next Baron.
Yeah, Seton Hall, they're brute forcing their way on in. They're able to play with understanding that Providence just doesn't have time to put down a solid Warren line right now. If they run into any individual one-on-one of Seton Hall, they will lose that. Doesn't matter which role it is, they will lose it. So warding and trying to de-ward by yourself, a very difficult task right now for Providence as Seton Hall continually pressure around the map. And here we go. Gage getting a couple knockups, TP being utilized right here. Mianhe trying to get him to the back line. Oh, and Beatty not able to get over the wall without having to use flash. Calhorn forced to go golden, but charge has been popped. Kled getting onto the back line, and it's on to Nate. The tree has been chopped for the 5th time in the game. Flash over the wall. Nobody saw that. Trevor getting in a little bit of trouble. Flash by Fluber onto the back line. Able to pick 1, able to pick up 2. And Beatty in some trouble. Might be getting taken down here as well. And it's the ace for the Pirates.
Seton Hall looking absolutely dominant in the first game of this set, finding an opening, making an opening, and busting this game wide open. That is the inhib turret going to drop. Going to get 2 simultaneously through all of this. Don't think the death timers are going to be long enough here for them to look to end, but maybe at this point they're far enough ahead in terms of gold. They might try and do just that if they can leverage a few more kills. The HP bars are a little bit battered and bruised. We'll see if Providence can find any opening here, or if Seton Hall will just continue to put up their relentless pressures. The second inhib does fall. A mistake from Providence here could be absolute disaster. Corki is trying to go back in, but the Olaf is just absolutely shrekking them on the front line, and that is Seton Hall standing strong through all of this. Look at the life steal! I've earned this rank! Is earning every single one of these kills. Finally, the shutdown is here, but the damage has been done. Back-to-back aces for Seton Hall, and that is going to be it. Game number 1 is going the way of the Pirates.
Yeah, one of the fastest games we've seen in the Big East Preseason Invitational, and the Pirates showing exactly why they are the #1 seed. Listening to Zyrene, don't play with your food, son. Make sure you take the victory 29-9, 22 minutes and change, and that was one of the most dominant performances we've seen in the collegiate space in a very long time, Paul.
I could not agree more. Don't play with your food, just go for the throat, and that's exactly what game. Beautiful play from them. A few little flubs. I'm not talking about Fluber. A few little flubs. Ashe getting caught a little bit out of position. A couple people maybe getting a little bit overconfident, but still, the overall mindset was there. We're going to out-macro them. We're going to out-fight them. We're going to trust in our jungler. We're going to trust in our mechanics, but more importantly, when we decide we're going to push, we're going to go all in, we're going to commit, and they did.
Yeah, and you know, the big question there was with the bot lane, you know, wait till level 6, and when would the plays start happening? And TP plays all across the map. Ashe doing a fantastic job kiting it out. Numb Gums doing a good job being that frontliner with the Nautilus, and it led to the victory there.
It did indeed. So really nice play overall from Seton Hall in that first game. Providence needs to switch up a few things if they want to turn this one around, D-Gun. So, I don't know. We'll see what they can do here. Zyrene is standing by with some analysis from that last game. There were a lot of amazing fights initiated by Seton Hall. Which one do we get to see again?
We're going to see the second to last one. Count the final one is the one where everybody kind of trickled in and they went through the batting order at the very end of it. The Corki jumped to the back line. Don't want to cover that one because that one was a complete mess. So we're going to do the one right before that at the Baron. And what I want to talk about primarily here is the setup to what makes this play happen. So let's just say you have a gigantic lead in a game. A lot of people have issues with closing games out. And I got to say, it comes down to these suckers right here. comes down to the control wards that you have. You have one that's going to pick up all the little wards that might end up in places like here, or just like tricky ones that end up like over here, or ones that are in the pit. So you know that you aren't spotted in this area at all. And so you place wards as well that will catch people who are trying to move forward and get to this area. So first, you deny vision in the pit primarily, which is where they want to see you, so you make sure they can't. Then you want to see them coming up and trying to get vision, or at least contesting or moving their ward lines forward. So as we play this out, you're going to see the hard engage that come out, the Nautilus camping there, the sweeper that's on, the Ash arrow. The whole intention of this was they weren't trying to do the Baron. They're saying we have enough of a gold lead that we just want to destroy you at the thought of us getting Baron. So they go in, they use their hard engage, they pop their Kled ultimate, they run everybody forward, and it's all set up on the fact that they know you think they're going to try to do Baron and that you have to check it in some way, shape, or form, and you don't have the tools to do so without using your faces. And as soon as your face presents itself, that's where the arrow is going to hit. And I love when people end up just crushing games like this, because that's a very clear indication of they know exactly how to use Baron, not just as a buff or something that gives them stats or helps them push, but as a tool to play with the enemy's heads of whether or not they're going to do it. Because the next time they're presented with a situation like this, the other team has to think before they face check, and that might be the time that they actually start up the Baron thinking, oh, they're not going to check us, they're too afraid now. So you can play mind games with it throughout the series. As we move to game 2, I'm interested to see what happens at the 20-minute mark if Seton Hall has a lead again.
A reputation made real, because it's one thing knowing that you're going against the #1 team. It's another thing knowing that they've already taken down Villanova and DePaul and Butler. But it's another thing to face it head on in a game. And mind games definitely going to come into play. Thanks so much, Zyrene, for breaking that one down. And again, following up on the point I made earlier, the idea of committal. They know what they need to do, and they are going to execute it. So big congratulations for Seton Hall with probably the most dominant single win we've seen yet on the broadcast here for ESL Collegiate. Before we head into our first break, I need to talk to people about AnyKey. I've mentioned it before on past broadcasts, so you're probably familiar with it. It's this amazing initiative brought together by ESL and Intel, supporting diversity and inclusion in gaming and esports. The Good Luck Have Fun pledge is live once again. This amazing opportunity to take a stand against toxicity in gaming. I'm going to mention it now and play the seeds. Be a little Ivern right now. We have so many Iverns in that game, #1. I figured I'd join in. And we'll talk about it a little bit more when we come back after the break. But you can check out the Good Luck Have Fun pledge, of course, anykey.org/pledge. And of course, sign up. I was going to say sign up. Follow us on social media. You can sign up for social media and then follow us on it. Twitter, ESL Collegiate. That's the place to be. We're going to have game 2 in just a bit. Right after this. Hello and welcome back to the ESL Collegiate 2019 Preseason Invitational. We're here in the Big East where we just saw Seton Hall absolutely demolish Providence in one quick game. 22 minutes was all it took for them to walk away with the W. I'm Inverum, joined by Degon and Zyrene here on the desk, two separate, completely individual human beings.
Well
I
done.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Well done.
My brand thanks you.
My brand!
Mine doesn't.
But my brand.
My brand!
As long as it's not associated with Degon, I'm good. No leeching.
Don't be like that.
Don't be like that. You know what? Be instead like Seton Hall, who looked amazing in that first game. Couple little tiny flubers, as it were. No, actually, he played amazing. But a couple tiny things. The Ash getting caught out a few, one or two times too many. But still, all in all, 22 minutes is a heck of a good way to start off a series.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the time of the win. I'm worried about how dominant it was. And this was a dominant win by Seton Hall, showing that they do deserve their #1 spot. And they're taking care of business against a team that's still trying to find their footing in the Big East Preseason Invitational.
Yeah, it did look like a complete stomp. There were some things where you could go, oh, maybe they could clean up a little bit on the side of Seton Hall. Maybe not have as many deaths during the early game for the Ash especially. But overall, I think they did a fantastic job of closing the game out once they had their lead. Like you guys were saying, playing with their food a little bit. And then eventually they were like, okay, you know, let's not go for the stomach. Let's go for the throat.
You got it there. But that's still only game #1. We're very fortunate to have another game coming up in just a second. But before we do, I'm going to touch back on a point I made before the break. It is, of course, Any Key and the Good Luck Have Fun Pledge. Your chance to be a better online digital citizen. What does that mean? This is like a lot of words. Basically means just be a better person when you're playing games. Create spaces that are more welcoming to people who want to get involved in this awesome wide world of gaming and esports that we're all a part of. And I actually got to go out and into the world and talk to some people who are involved in esports and get their thoughts on Any Key and the Good Luck Have Fun Pledge.
Hi, my name is D1 Ala Mengret.
Hi, my name is Sue Lee. My handle is Smix.
My name is Jordan Gilbert, aka Nothing.
My name is Bill Carter. My handle is Jump.
My name is Christopher Michaels, better known as Monte Cristo.
Hey guys, I'm Michelle Morrow, and I'm on-camera talent for both esports and the world of entertainment.
I think it's important that people are made aware that their behavior is not acceptable if you're going to throw out bigoted terms or target somebody for that kind of harassment.
So dealing with toxicity, even just on a normal day-to-day basis, when I game, I just like to be sort of an anonymous gamer, and to this day, I am scared to use my mic.
I think that anytime you can sit someone down that has a negative mindset or has a sense of toxicity, think about who you're affecting.
If I had the ability to confront a troll face to face, they would not be the keyboard warrior that they are inside of the game.
The GLHF pledge is super important. Anything that's encouraging people to promote positivity, to promote understanding, to promote sympathy.
It's cool to see that people are going above and beyond to be a voice for those from a community that may not be as well represented in gaming. You do matter.
GLHF.
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 Good luck. Have fun.
Well, you heard it there. Don't take my word for it. Take all of their words for it. Take all our words for it. Head on over to anykey.org/pledge to sign up there. Be one of over 300,000 people who've already signed the pledge. And I don't know, get an exclusive Twitch badge while you're at it, because I guess that's kind of cool. All right, there we go. Sign up with Any Key. You got it there. Game #2 is now nearly underway. We're about to jump into the draft. Well, right now. Let's get into the draft for game #2. And I was going to ask, like, what does Providence need to do to really change things up and look for the win? But I'm not trying to
Look, we're analysts.
put Providence down. I'm not trying to put Providence down too much here.
Not miracle workers.
Look, I'm not trying to put Providence down too much here. I just think that Seton Hall could have drafted pretty much any number of champions that fit those roles and still probably would have had a relatively similar result. I think a lot of it just came down to the mechanics and, more importantly, the rotations. It seemed like the decision-making of Seton Hall is at a place where the draft is a lot less relevant.
Yeah, I think if you're looking at something you can attack here for Providence, it's that the jungler I've earned this rank, who was on Olaf, did have openings early on to gank to. Nate the Fantastic did find some chances to gank and then spent a lot of time on the bottom side of the map, levels 4 and 5, before he hit level 6. That's when Crop was able to hit, I believe, one of the hawk shots, found where the jungler was, and then the opposite side of the map, that's exactly where Ivern of this rank went and was able to start capitalizing on his own Olaf play. So play through the jungle, I think, is your opportunity here. Nate the Fantastic, hit the go button, play something aggressive early and see if you're able to get these lanes going.
Yeah, and they banned away the Ivern this time, so he doesn't have to take it as a takeaway or anything like that, or worry about it being first picked here. So we'll see what they end up going with. And Fiddlesticks?
All right.
Wait, what? You guys don't seem as phased.
I'm not.
Where's it going?
Probably support.
Support.
Jungle? Support?
Jungle. Mid.
I feel like
I don't know.
I feel like most of the meme fiddlesticks we see recently are part of some like weird duo queue thing you do when it's lighting against a disgusting fiddle support. It's just the most frustrating thing ever.
Yeah,
Black Shield's okay to try and shut that down, I suppose.
Yeah, back in Season 8, it was Fiddlesticks, Heimerdinger.
Oh, yes.
So that was oppressive. Doesn't seem to be the case, though. Tristana already picked. Tristana can go mid, can go top.
The Fiddledinger bottom lane?
Yes, the Fiddledinger bottom lane.
Fiddledinger.
Made famous by one, Matthew definitely
The
can.
Fuber Blubler Slingle Dinger. I don't even know. Never mind.
We don't want to be banned on Twitch, I'm just saying.
Easy there. Let's go with the Kled. Back on
100% good
Fluber. Fluber, will it get locked in here? Myanhe also had a pretty solid game on the Rise that last time. Rise still up and available, but Ornn, Pantheon, and Ivern, the takeaway. It'd be Maokai this time on the top side of the map. Locked in for Fluber. See what the final pick of the first half of the pick ban phase, and it's going to be Nico. Nico got through this time in the picks and bans, and BD will probably have that opportunity to play Nico. Could also be played in the mid lane.
Yeah, it was banned by Seton Hall last game as the second phase, so seems like Providence, they're just going to pick that one up pretty simply and avoid it being banned away. Now, is it top lane on hit? Is it top lane AP? Or is it the mid lane AP? Like, that's the thing, is it's flexible once again.
I think Seton Hall is thinking this is going to be a pick for Eagle here in the mid, judging by that Jax ban as well. Yeah, so I think they're definitely thinking this is heading towards the mid, and they want to try and deny as many of these top picks as possible. And I think they would be right in that. The Kled is actually going to be picked up here. Not a bad pick from Providence. Hovered by Seton Hall, so a denial pickup as well as denying a comfort champion there away from the opponent. Rise and Yasuo, so Myanhe is going to have to flex into something different, but Echo picked up likely for the jungle, but could flex. No, it is probably actually going to be in, actually I have no idea. We could lane 4 of these champions in completely different places.
Yeah, you feel like it's Echo in the jungle, Olaf in the jungle, Echo up on the mid lane.
Yes.
And
Maokai top.
Maokai top,
and then
Fiddlesticks at support.
Yes.
We did it.
We did it.
We did it.
Good job, Seton Hall.
All right, now do the other one.
Oh, wait, hang on. Is that a jump?
Now do the other one.
So there has been jungle Urgot played a decent amount earlier in the season, but maybe it's Jungle Nico? Is this a thing?
Is that a thing?
I don't think it's really a thing, but I love Jungle Nico.
Go on.
When she came out, I played her exclusively jungle.
Just because you're a jungler.
Yeah, it was really fun because you know her passive.
You posted a lot of videos.
Yeah, I posted a lot of that's how much I liked it. Is I put effort into making videos for it. That's like something I don't normally do. That's when you know I love a champion because you know her passive allows her to change into other people, right? And kind of mimic their health bar. I was like, oh, that's absolutely useless in lane. It's gonna be jungle. It's gonna be a lane here. So what I'm talking about is pretty irrelevant. But her passive, like, it allows you to mimic people, and I was like, why is this a champion you play in lanes? So I play jungle, and then I'd like walk up to my AD, and I'd be like, hey, trade places with me. So my AD would walk back with like low HP. I'd take his place with low HP or appear to have low HP, walk into lane, and just pretend to be the AD for like 3 seconds. Then the Leon would engage on me, and I'd be like, surprise, it's a full HP Nico. And I thought that was the best way to use her. But it's completely irrelevant, so just ignore everything I said for the last 10 seconds.
And look, no, still a glimpse into the history of League of
Legends. Make her a jungler. I don't understand.
Look, she is
Why
a
is she a
chameleon that would
laner?
make a lot of sense. All right, but we do have to talk about predictions. It's Seton Hall.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the...
Yeah.
Okay. Digon.
Seton Hall.
Flawless logic.
Yeah. Seton Hall, better team, better composition. Nico's not in the jungle.
Yeah, actually, that's a very good point. I can't go with Providence because Nico's not in the jungle. So
Yeah, I guess you look on the bottom side of the map for Providence. You have the Caitlin Morgana, and
Yeah,
you could try to get some picks on that way. But again, every lane was kind of falling behind, and Olaf again in the hands of I've earned this rank.
Ouch.
Comfort right in his hands.
All right, that's going to be the predictions from us here on the desk. Game number 2 is about to get underway, so let's jump right on into it. Let's not keep you waiting.
I don't understand.
Cyrene!
Why is she?
Cyrene!
Oh no! We're about to have a fiesta right off the top here.
Here we go!
Edie able to get the bear trap on a rope. Ivor in this ring getting pulled backwards, and that was it.
That's it. That's the whole scuffle. Everybody backs, everybody resets, everybody taunts.
That was kind of exciting.
Yeah.
No summoners all across.
Look at Echo. 9 people back. Then Echo's like, look, I rock to the beat of my own DJ. Pure damage.
Pure damage. I got it.
Thank you. That was interesting. It's not KDA, though.
Not KDA.
Not KDA.
I think KDA was a little ground.
I think going to a halftime at like 2 minutes and 40 seconds and a 3-minute and 20-second song is probably not how I would end it. I'm just saying. I have some experience in the world of music production, and I would say that's probably less optimal even in the world of hip-hop. You probably want to end a big opening banger of a song strong. Just saying, Riot Music Team.
I mean, it is right. They've definitely
They definitely know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but also agree to disagree. And that is going to be Urgot in the jungle. Urgot's interesting. He was like this absolute dominant staple of a top laner. Last time we actually casted the Big East last season in CLaw, he was one of these almost 100% involvement rate champions, pick banned for sure, but he's definitely fallen off. They just kept nerfing him, and we kept playing him, and they kept nerfing him. We kept playing him, they kept nerfing him, until finally people were like, all right, he's bad now.
Yeah, but again, right, I think when you spend a lot of time on a champion and you have the experience on him, you feel like you can play him into anything, right? Even if some of the numbers don't match up, you're like, hey, look, I know the ins and outs of this. I've adjusted to the new number system. It takes 2 auto attacks instead of 1 to finish something off. But given the time, given the space, I feel comfortable on this champion. And a lot of the time, when you look at these schools, it's comfort. It's what do you feel like you can perform well on. Not always the most optimal world's meta type thing. You got
For sure.
You're based off of your player pool and the time that you have.
We have a fiddlestick support. We're definitely not looking at worlds for the absolute meta here at Degon. But he is still kind of frustrating to deal with. Numb Gums, previously Nummy Warrior, locking down that return support position. And Caitlin Morgana is supposed to be one of these amazing, dual queue pub stomp lane matchups that everybody has played at least once, and one of the mainstays here in Collegiate, but already having a little bit of an issue here. Tristana back to her traditional role in the AD bot. So I'm kind of happy to see this here from Seton Hall.
Yeah, you get a lot of push here with the Tristana when you have the explosive charge. Every auto attack, again, just spreading down the damage with spread magic damage, and the AP goes a long way to shove on in. So Trevor and Calhorn just on the back foot, but not unless they're able to get a gank. Nate the Fantastic does get feared up backwards. The Black Shield coming too late, and in the middle of the rocket jump, that might be the first blood heading on over to Providence. TP coming on in from Fluber, but no damage with the AD carry going down. A misplay by Seton Hall, and Providence capitalized on it for their first blood of the series.
That was actually incredibly well played. And you talk about the idea of these comfort picks that you're going to play no matter what, even if they're not necessarily the most optimal meta pick. That Urgot coming on in from Nate the Fantastic looked exactly that. It looked fantastic, finding the exact timing to shut down the mobility of Tristana, not even getting a chance to get the flash off in that situation. First blood, and going unchallenged, unresponded to, for Providence. That's what they needed, what they couldn't do all last game.
Yeah, and I said it earlier, there are windows where Providence will be able to take advantage of I've earned this rank, just kind of power farming on the Olaf. Olaf, again, level 6, Ragnarok, that's what you're looking for. And as long as the rest of the team can kind of hold serve for a little while, allow Nate to get to your lane and help out, this could be a good thing. Eagle, though, he had a lot of difficulty in that mid lane last time. The Rise against the Corki matchup, he was the Corki, had a tough part in it, and now a little bit more trouble here for Ivor in this rank. Flash being utilized by the Olaf, and he'll be able to get himself to safety.
Very nice flash, finding the very corner of that wall. right into the tri-brush. And I've earned this rank. He's known for aggressive counter jungling, so I like the sense from Providence to continue to try and punish that. Not having the vision offered by the Ashe in game number 1 means that they're doing it a little bit more blind this time around for Seton Hall.
Yeah, and given the fact that we saw Nate head to the bottom side of the map, I like the fact that I've earned this rank was like, okay, I'll clear your top side of the map and get a small CS lead if you're going to spend time down there, and that's the way we're going to try to even things up. So I've earned this rank, getting clear, able to go back 2 long swords compared to the 1 on the opposite side of the map for Nate the Fantastic, and trying to mitigate the loss of the first blood.
Yes, trying to redeem some of the gold already spent there. And Providence with a gold lead for the first time in this series, and actually able to extend it a little bit here. So a great job for them to not let the trials and tribulations of game number 1 really get to them in any massive way. As up top, we're just seeing Beatty continue to put up, or try to put up some pressure here, but the Maokai just kind of tanky and just tough to deal with.
He is, but TP already used by Fluber when they tried to make the play on the bottom side of the map, and a CS lead for Beatty. So if Beatty's able to land the bear trap on a rope and get a gank off, you could possibly burn the Maokai flash here.
That might be what they're looking to do. Nate the Fantastic waiting for the step up there. And we're seeing the charge going on in, forcing out the flash just like you called for there. But we're not seeing a successful gank going to be coming out the way of Providence.
Yeah, and Providence, by burning that flash, it does mean that Seton Hall realize, hey, junglers on the top side of the map, we'll start up this Drake on our own. And with Drake control, Seton Hall constantly finding something else across the map to make up for the failed game.
Yeah,
there we go.
There we are. There's going to be the Drake pickup there from the Olaf. You know, not necessarily the same massive impactful play from him so far that we saw in game number 1, but at least still able to contribute a little bit with that first Drake there. But again, I have to give all the props in the world to Providence, because again, that was one of the most dominant victories we've seen from Seton Hall so far in the preseason invitational. And Providence is just shaking it off. They're doing a great job composing the mental here. They have only made good plays so far this game.
Yeah, I would say that gank attempt spent a little bit of time there, and the Drake heads on over to Seton Hall for that. However, still the gold lead in their favor. It is that first blood. It's basically the gold lead. Another perfect binding there from Morgana. Here comes the Caitlyn. Traps come down. Thank you very much. Beatty saving his TP, able to use it down to the bottom side of the map. Big play there. Second time we've seen Calhorn do something big for Providence.
Yeah, that was exactly the setup that they need, and the follow-up execution is there once again. And I got to give a lot of props to Eagle, who at this point in the game last time around, I think had already given up a solo kill over to the mid laner of Seton Hall, and not doing so far on that. Nico feeling a little bit more comfortable. Pop Blossom is going down, trying to set the rest of the team. They're going to look to go in as well. That is going to be the kill going over, so I spoke a little bit too soon. Caster Curse, but the follow-up is there from Trevor. Ace in the hole will secure the counter kill.
Yeah, and I was going to say, sometimes that's why you ban away a champion. Eagle might not be the one that's going to be able to hard carry this Nico mid lane play. However, he will be so comfortable on the champion that he can hold his lane, do well enough to at least not get ganked over and over again, fall so far behind as he did on the Corki. Only down 12 CS, that's 2 waves of CS. The kill or the assist didn't head on over to Mianhe, so almost, it's not too big of a deficit to overcome here.
Yeah, but Echo is one of these champs we've seen in the right hands could just take over a mid-game. Once he starts to get rolling a couple items in the inventory, he can start to one-shot people. So we'll keep an eye on that. As you mentioned before, Nico is going to offer a little bit more utility. Set up the Pop Blossom in these fights will be a great counter-initiation tool. Not always the best thing to go in and try and start off a fight with, but if Seton Hall decides, look, we want to start things off, Pop Blossom can be a great way to close down the party.
No.
And here we go. This is going to look to try and be that initiation like I'm talking about. And, okay, maybe I should just not. Maybe I should just, you know, there we are.
Yeah, good play there by Numgums to just head on into the bottom river bush and make a play. Now on the top side of the map, charge. Nothing.
There it is.
Sometimes that happens.
And we saw that bottom lane combo executed well down there. Fiddlesticks, Tristana Not something we're always used to seeing down there, but the Fiddlesticks looking to get things underway and starting to generate some momentum for this lane, though the Tristana is actually 0-2 right now, so not the most ideal opening here for her.
Yeah, we're used to seeing Tristana's go all in at once. There's Eagle in a little bit of trouble. Gets himself to safety, gets the shield from the Pop Blossom.
Olaf. Thank you.
That's when you're recalling and you open up the shop thinking about how you slickly got away from a death, wondering how you were going to spend your money.
Wait, why is my screen gray, Degon?
Happens sometimes.
Just happens. Sometimes it does.
I think on the bottom side of the map, though, Tristana is a late scaling champ, and by falling behind early, it just means that won't be able to bully as much. Tristana has that burst damage where you are able to surprise sometimes, but I think Trevor's played this one pretty well so far. Morgana, we've been applauding Calhorn for the bindings that have been landing, the aggressive plays. See if he's able to get another one here.
Going on in, finding 2 members. I've earned this rank and is able to pick up the kill all on his lonesome. Oh no, the 2v1 situation. The Axe not quite able to find it. I've earned this rank. What an absolute nightmare. Trevor thinking, look, this is a 2v1. We got this, we can get this done. But Ragnarokin and rolling, face rolling right all. Oh! Okay.
Fiddlesticks almost coming on in there and in the damage. And the lower HP that Olaf is, the more damage he does. And with no burst potential, Calhorn already had used binding. You don't really get burst other than your headshot rotation for Trevor. Basically, I ran this rank with every single swing of the axe. Was able to lifesteal his way up.
And we're seeing the first turret going down right there for the side of Seton Hall. 12-minute mark. Securing all of those very lovely turret plates for them. Going to continue to bring back, and I should say further snowball this gold lead they've now developed for themselves. Providence in the early game did start off with a bit of that gold lead, but slowly and surely it's been chipped away. Is now up top. Maokai is there looking to put Beatty back in his place as we see another Drake started up here for I've earned this rank, but he's getting collapsed on. Four members of Providence are here. He's going to try and go all in with the Ragnarok, but all right, that was not the uphill battle you can run. The rest of the team is going to try and come in on the flank, though. Fiddlesticks channeling up the ultimate. Can he get this one done? The counter initiative. Pop Blossom is here as well.
Trevor's
try and find it. There it is. So nice play there as Eagle is able to set that up for the team. Trevor is there. He's trying to set up the trap line to get himself out. Continue to deal consistent damage, but we do see the initiation from the Tristana over the wall, trying to chase down the Nico as well. The ult going in from the Echo, trying to survive a little bit longer. Kaelin almost gets it done, but now, we just see it come in from Crop once more. A scrappy fight from Seton Hall, barely able to walk away with the win.
Yeah, and it was such a close fight there for Providence. It's the TP advantage coming through, and you can see Beatty doesn't have TP for a little bit longer. Had the opportunity to do two things, either roam down with the ultimate or stop the TP up top from Maokai, either landing the bear trap or using the ult to hit the Maokai. Instead, this turns into a de facto 5v4, and Numgums, his ultimate doesn't really do that much compared to Eagle. Gets a two-man Pop Blossom rooted in place. You're hoping you can put a trap down, but Trevor had already put down the trap line. Eagle buys a little bit of time there, and you're thinking Crop's in a bit of trouble. Right here, Trevor gets aggressive, flash, ace in the hole, not gonna be enough, or flash, headshot, not gonna be enough, and that's the power of Fiddlesticks right there. Hit him with the fear. There's nothing you can do. You gotta buy an early QSS, which slows down your timing and the lead that you have, and Trevor had the opportunity to pick up 3 and really turn this game on its head. Unfortunately, Seton Hall coming up big in that last fight.
In the world of Crow Storms and Pop Blossoms, despite the animations looking incredibly similar, Pop Blossom, I talked about it as a counter initiation tool, almost brought Providence back in that fight, but the few small mechanical outplays we saw coming in from Seton Hall made all the difference in that one, forcing out an early flash, dodging the charge, because of course Fear Beyond Death is always going to be a factor, and Crop going in behind enemy lines, sniping the Morgana. Nice dodge there going on in. It is not going to be enough, but the allies rotating on in are going to be able to secure the return double kill, so a 2-for-1 trade coming in from Seton Hall.
Yeah, nice pickup there, and both of them heading to the Olaf. 5-2 for I've earned this rank. 2 games here on the Olaf, and looking real good right now for Seton Hall. 10-6 for a while. Providence in the lead, and what did they do with it? They tried to set up the Dragon play. weren't quite able to get away with it. And now Seton Hall starting to assert their dominance. Here comes an ultimate in the mid lane. And Crowstorm, it's a forecast full of gray screen here. And Providence now losing top lane, losing mid lane after a couple of plays from Seton Hall. And the game accelerating here for the Pirates.
And this is about what we expected from Seton Hall. A couple, good, very early game plays from Providence showed that in some of these small microchasms of these lane matchups, they're able to do okay. But the second sort of the larger macro elements starts to come in, it seems like Seton Hall has a distinct advantage. And then you really saw the mechanics take off around that dragon play. But here comes a potential flank.
Yeah, Nate, fantastic. Tries to get there, but the parallel convergence stopping the aggression from the Urgot, who is still working his way into that jungle position. And I think one of the major differences right now is the vision score of the mid laners. You look at Myeonhae, 17 vision score compared to just 8 for Eagle. And we've seen Eagle just be a victim of these roams, whether it's Numgums roaming on up and getting himself a kill, or Ivern this rink just walking right into the lane, and he's been susceptible to this on both sides. So keeping your vision up, spending your money on control wards here has to be paramount moving forward for the Providence mid lane.
Speaking of moving forward, we're seeing the Echo doing just that, and this is exactly what I talked about in the mid-game, the ability for the Echo to simply one-shot, delete, eliminate, annihilate targets. That's what we're seeing right now, and trying to go back in and do just that is going to be the Pop Blast with a nice flash denial right there with the Ragnarok as well. We are seeing BD looking to TP in on this, but Seton Hall can take this fight at their heart's content. The Olaf is going in, trying to bait the rest of them on through. The root is there, looks like the kill, and the shutdown will go the way of Providence, but what will it cost them, D-Gon?
Almost everything. Crop now trying to pick this last one up, not able to get the auto attack off. Nice little fake there by Eagle. Crop's on fire, one more auto attack might do it. Yes, it does. Down goes the Tristana. However, nice pickup, turned back around, and the whole time, Fluber on the top side of the map. He has a big team fighting ultimate, but he doesn't care. He's taking down the turret.
Meh. I mean, Nature's Grasp is good, I guess. I'm just a split pusher now, don't you know?
Yeah, the tree. The tree got cut down for Providence last game in the form of Ivern, but the angrier, scarier tree that doesn't have a friend for an ultimate, he only has roots for an ultimate.
That's definitely the scarier tree. And if we're comparing the scariness of two trees, that's the worst tree.
Maokai and Ivern.
Yes.
Yes.
It was a very obscure reference, like one person's gonna get.
I don't think anyone's gonna get that one.
No, maybe one. It was John Mulaney. Anyway. Taking a look at the state of this game right now, 15 kills to 8, so already Providence is looking better than the last time around. Little things like Tristana insisting on trying to chase down that kill herself when she could have just walked away and let her teammates get it, and giving her own life for it as well. Maybe she would have ticked out regardless from the Ignite, I'm not sure, but in any case, some small things like that, the idea of playing with your food a little bit, I feel like Seton Hall's falling victim to that just a touch.
Yeah, Seton Hall still just closing this one out, right? They're doing the steps here. 5,000, 6,000 gold lead right now. Uncontested Drake. Providence starting to group up, trying to work their way through their own vision lines. And here goes Urgot. He's going on in first.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Just kidding. Maybe a little bit.
Two Nates.
Oh boy. Starting things off with the Crowstorm to look to line everything up. Not going to be able to secure a kill off the back. And there we go. The ult for the Maokai is going to look to go in. The Kled is there, going to instantly knock back. The Nico is going to look to try and set something up as well. Just putting in that pressure and getting right on out. So no kills going either way to start off this fight, but a lot of ultimates already committed.
Yeah, Crop forced to flash backwards for Seton Hall, and 2 flashes on the opposite side for Providence. Eagle have to flash backwards, as well as Nate the Fantastic on the Urgot heading backwards as well. So Providence, good defense there, but I think they spent a little bit too much time trying to set up a death rush strat, waiting for Seton Hall to walk on into them, and then they moved away from it. Now Crop finding one here, picking up the kill, has the reset if he wants to. Calhorn is low. Crop will not go on in, but now Trevor stuck in between turrets. The team not there. He gets caught. The fear takes such a long time to recover from. The turret goes down. Nice rotational play there by Seton Hall. A little bit of overstepping by Trevor. He falls for the 4th time in the game.
That was really just Crop starting to feel comfortable in the power spike now. 2 items here. The Infinity Edge, of course, going to do so.
Oh, Myeonhae, that was sick!
Absolutely massive play going in under the inhib. Morgana just completely caught out of position. The unrelenting aggression of Seton Hall. Look, the last game was done in 22. They're feeling like they could do this one even quicker now. Degon is the first inhib's gonna fall. All 5 members are still alive. Don't walk forward, Urgot. No. Okay. Everything is totally fine. The Cled's walking in as well, but that's the fleeing and that's the death. They're gonna see a couple more quick kills likely coming the way through here for Seton Hall. Trading out a little bit in return. The death timers are still so low for Providence. They're able to hold this back for now. Here's the charge. What can they get from this? The Maokai ult is still a thing, and Crop is just going right back in.
Yeah, he gets one, but he gets traded on out. It is picked up by Kled, but then here comes even more damage. Beyond trying to take down Calhorn. Calhorn will survive, but the inhib is gone. The damage has been done.
Providence barely, just barely holding on to game number 2. 21 kills to 10, an absolute bloodbath. Way more than 1 kill a minute so far in this game, but Baron has spawned, and we know what that means. If there's an opportunity for Seton Hall to try and put the icing on the cake in this series, it's probably gonna be through that Baron.
Yeah, yes, but I kind of feel like you don't need to.
They don't have to, but they probably will.
You could just honestly head to the top side of the map and pressure that one, have someone push the mid lane just a bit. And then just be patient. You have super minions pushing on the bottom side of the map. A lot of teams head to Baron a bit early, and it gives the other team an extra man, one would say, an extra person, one would say, dishing out damage against you in a fight if you start that Baron early. They do have a Mountain. You have Tristana that can dish out a lot of damage. You got a tanky frontliner in the form of Maokai, but again, just a little... It can be a little extra if you head to Baron.
This is true, but at the same time, Providence is committing Caitlyn, who does not have TP, as the member to try and deal with the super minions here back in the base, which means that if they start this off, which they're doing right now, she is not going to be able to rotate to the team. And at this stage, you're gonna just have an incredible frontliner there in your mid laner to try and break things up. Providence just absolutely cannot contest this. So the work you did earlier with that inhib, forcing somebody to take back, yeah, they might have a 5th person, but it's just a 5th person because their other person's actually back cleaning up minions. And Nate the Fantastic, I really appreciate the fact that he didn't, it's not just Nate the Great, it's Nate the Fantastic as he goes in here, fantastically taking a look at that gray screen and taking the TPs. There's the TP into the base of the side of Providence, and that's the follow-up. The Roots going in from the Maokai, and here comes the Echo, looking to stomp down the hopes and dreams of Providence as all 5 members are still alive when the second inhib does fall. Baron empowered super minions are going to be doing a heck of a whole lot here as the top inhib turret is going to fall. Let's go for a perfect game from Seton Hall.
Yeah, taking all the structures here. 22-10, not quite done yet. Seton Hall now diving on the back line, immediately getting deleted is the Nico. Trevor, the last one up, that's really dishing out meaningful damage. Now Crop stepping a bit further up. He's gonna hop on into the back line. He's able to pick up 1.
Oh no.
Get 2, Calhorn in the back line. It's a triple kill for the Tristana. Fiddlesticks getting the final kill, 27-10. Seton Hall closing out again in 22 minutes.
Why wouldn't you give him the Quadra? Come on, Fiddlesticks, what kind of support is this? No! In the end, Seton Hall walk away with a swift and decisive 2-0 victory here in the 2019 preseason invitational. Whew, I mean, what can I say about that matchup, Degon?
Yeah, I would say it's just 2 teams on 2 different paths right now. Seton Hall still leading the league and trying to figure out how they want to continue to push boundaries and take care of business. And Providence still trying to figure out how they want to play. Like, what is their identity in putting together a team composition with the players and the champions that are already in their pool, and it shows, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that there's no way back for Providence, but when you first against last, that's kind of what happens there, and that's what's expected, and I think that's a good thing there for Seton Hall moving forward.
And this is the amazing thing too about this preseason invitationals. They can shake the rust out now before they head into the next CLOL season. They have an opportunity to experiment with different compositions, to experiment with different lineups. Maybe they even want to make some role swaps there, some roster swaps here. There's still an opportunity for them to do that. And I think, taking a look at this mid and this jungle here for the side of Providence, maybe want to look at exactly how those interactions are happening and how they're looking to support each other and support these lanes overall as a whole. Because I felt like, not to take anything away from Eagle here, but I don't feel like he was given, I don't feel like there was really any pressure put on the opposing team's mid laner.
Yeah, not as much. And we'll take a look at the highlights here on how that game went down. And just speaking on Providence, just a year and a half ago, they had Honor Lord in the mid lane.
Yeah.
And Providence was the 4th place seed in the in the Big East. It was them and Seton Hall. Seton Hall, perennial third-place seed here, but now for the first time, first-place seed. And I think given that fact, there's always something that you can build upon, given time and with a team together, having one or two players holding over and using that experience to build upon, you can build something there. But right now, Providence in that building phase where Seton Hall is reaping the benefits. Nummy Warrior, now known Num Gums, as the holdover here for the Seton Hall squad, and showing off why Seton Hall is one of the teams to be feared in this preseason invitational.
Absolutely. They've already taken down pretty much every single juggernaut here in the Big East, and they're showing why. Everything's just looking so clean for them. I think that's the one thing I really want to touch on is Seton Hall was a team that had some great individual plays and they had some pretty solid rotations, but I feel like their synergy has just leveled up since the last time we seen little things like that, knowing exactly when they want to go back in and out. Yeah, the Olaf does end up dying in this play, but what do they get for it? So much more.
Yeah, and I think those are the big points here for this squad. You move on from Brady Hayes, currently not on this roster, who was great. Enjoyed Brady, fantastic carry jungler, but now you're seeing a little bit more team play out of this Seton Hall squad, out of this Pirate squad, and it's starting to show across. I don't think this was a perfect game by any means. They didn't have any, a perfect non-death type style, but
yes,
what you like is the pace. They were in control, regardless whether they went away with a perfect ace or they went with an ace 5-2, and that's the mark of a team, knowing how to win. You can always clean up the mechanics of it, but we know how to play to our win conditions. We execute those things, and we did it pretty quickly. There wasn't really an opportunity for responses for Providence once they got past that early game. And that's a sign of a dominant team. You like that coming on in here for Seton Hall, now sitting way atop of the standings,
Yes.
undefeated.
I mean, I love the statement that you just made, Degon, the idea that this team knows how to win, because that's often the thing we criticize so often with a lot of these collegiate teams is they put themselves in this great position, but then they kind of hum and haw, and they're like, oh, maybe we should push into this inhib, or maybe we should look towards this Baron, and there's a lot of indecision when it comes from a lot of these up-and-coming teams when it actually goes down to the final decision of, do we win the game? And I saw none of that hesitation from Seton Hall. They're like, look, we know we're strong. We know we're in a great position. Let's just kill them and take their stuff.
Yeah, and again, Providence had a solid early game, right? Going behind Trevor. Trevor was 2-0-1 on the bottom side, put Tristana behind 0-2, and they had things to build upon, and I think it's now more about being consistent, trying to work through that Caitlyn, getting an early lead, and again, figuring out what lane you're playing through, and just build yourself an easy composition to execute. Very much what Seton Hall did in game number 1. It was a go button type composition. Ash was your initiator. So you landed Enchanto Cristero. Yep. You go on in. If you're not, you just fall back, reset, farm up.
And that was exactly it. We saw it repeated over and over again over the course of those games. Good synergy between those players. And got to give big congratulations for Seton Hall. Now they look like the team to beat here in the Big East. So congratulations to them on a swift 2-0 victory. But now we're coming to the end of our show, and luckily for us, that means some Gaston Chat Chowdown, brought to you by Grubhub, of course, the official food delivery partner here of ESL Collegiate. Grubhub Perks is coming out, an amazing opportunity for you to get your hands on some great food and free food. And of course, if you use the link that's about to appear on, first I should say, the winner is, the winner is steak.
Woo!
Oh, heck, we're getting fancy here.
Yeah, we are.
The Big East broadcast. Wait a second. Is this, oh, I have slaw. Oh, hang on,
big trays.
Okay, yes, Grubhub, thank you. Hello, and if you want to get your hands on some fancy, delicious food, there's going to be a link that's going to appear on your screen momentarily where you can get $12 off your first order of $15 or more. That's the link right there. Download the Grubhub app. Get that on your phone. Get some food in your belly. I know, like, again, I mentioned this before, but, like, this wasn't really a thing when I was in university, and if it had been, I would have been using it nonstop, because let's be honest, why go outside or cook when I can have delicious food delivered right to my door?
All right, let me go ahead and
look at the crust on this mac and cheese. Hang on, look at this. Oh, boy. Yes, look at that. Anytime I have a crust on my mac and cheese, I am real happy. Oh, yeah. Look at that. All right, okay, okay. Only downside to this. Wait, this steak is so tender I can literally cut it with a plastic knife? Oh, heck yes. Grubhub, thank you so much, and our Grub hubby for delivering it all. All right, I'm gonna take the first bite here. All right, here we go.
All right,
Degon, talk about Grubhub.
Yeah, and make sure you sign up for the Grubhub Perks reward program. Every time that you order food, you get yourself an opportunity to get some points to get some free food. And, you know, in college, loved free stuff. So free food, always fantastic way to do
Absolutely.
that. And now Grubhub is a part of that ecosystem. Make sure you go sign up for Grubhub and Grubhub Perks. Paul, how is it?
It is really good. This is a well-cooked steak.
My turn.
I think this is
My turn.
Oh yeah, get in there. And I'm just slathering. This is like horseradish sauce on there. Just get that right on there. But yes, thank you so much to Grubhub for helping to fill all the hungry bellies of the collegiate students across the Big East. So thank you so much, Grubhub, for being a partner here of ESL Collegiate, and excited to bring this to all the students across all these different schools. How is it?
It was really good.
It was really good. Thank you all. Look, these cast and chat shoutouts are great, and I'm excited to keep doing more of them. So thank you for all of you at home who voted. Make sure to head on over to the Discord to vote for the next one. And also, of course, follow us on Twitter at ESL Collegiate. What is it, Degon?
Next one, we're not here, so if you want to go ahead and be a little mean with it, go for it.
All right, yeah, we're getting more amazing action coming at you next week. We will kind of see you then. Bye.
Bye.